Okay, well, hello everyone, and welcome to our Shine Finishers Party. Yay!
Oh, I forgot my hat.
Yay, woo! All right, I want to first say congratulations everyone for making it, for getting through all of the 10 days of the challenge. It's an impressive feat. It's a really wonderful thing to do. So I'm going to first go ahead and mute everyone. And okay. So I've muted everyone just so that it's nice and clean call. So what we're going to be doing today, and it's going to go pretty fast. It's 90 minutes, which sounds like a long time, but you'd be amazed at how quickly it does go once we get going. So here's how we're going to do it. So I'm going to do a short-ish PowerPoint where we're going to go through and map out all of your next steps with video. So we're going to look at making your video plan. We're going to look at kind of what to consider next and making sure that you have a strategy going into your next phase of videos. So it's going to be a ton of fun. This is based on how I strategize and plan using my own videos. So if you liked what you have done so far in Shine, this is just looking at now how can we take the skills you've created there and apply them moving forward. So we're going to do that portion, which will maybe take 40, 45 minutes. You're going to have at the end of that a complete plan. So I hope you guys have brought a notepad and pen because you'll definitely be using them. I see Debbie was waving hers. Thanks, Debbie. And making sure that you take a moment to grab that if you need it. Because we're really going to be digging into this. So you want to make sure that you have something to take notes with. I also will be sending out the slides that we're going through tonight, or today, wherever you are. It depends on what time zone you're in. For me, it's tonight, so I'll probably say it a lot. But I will be sending out a copy of the slides as well. So don't feel like you have to write down everything you see on the screen, but we will be doing some exercises so you can figure out how this stuff applies to you and your work. So it's going to be really fun. Then at the end of that portion, we're going to get to do some questions. So if you've had burning questions for me about anything video related at all, we will have a chance to do that. We might not get to everybody as there's usually a ton of questions and we do want to keep it to 90 minutes. But we'll get to as many as we can. I'm notorious for getting super distracted by the chat box, so I won't be looking in there, but we're going to be, myself and Tara will be fielding some questions and making sure that we get as much answered as possible for you guys. And mostly, I really want you guys to have a bit of fun. This is all about helping you kind of take that same feel from Shine. And to me, that was such a fun challenge. It was kind of fast and light, but it was really amazing to see the transformations of how people showed up on camera at the start versus at the end. I think a lot of people both learned about making it look good and represent you well, but also it was just like the level of ease was so vastly different on the final videos than they were at the start. So it was really wonderful to watch. So now we're really going to dig into what to do next. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hop over to that now. So it'll just take me a second. And I am recording. Yeah, okay, I'm recording. Phew. Oh yeah, so just so you know as well, if you hop out later, we are recording this. So you will be obviously part of the recording if you jump out to speak, but we will only be sharing that with the finishers. So this will only be emailed out to all of you guys tomorrow and anyone who couldn't make it to the live but did earn the recording. So, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. And we're going to go ahead and go into PowerPoint. Okay, so now just to let you guys know, I can see Carolyn, Debbie, and Marion on here. So if I ever lose, hi guys, so if I ever lose sound, if one of you waves at me if something goes funky technically, that would be really helpful. Or Tara, you can unmute yourself as well. Okay, so here we are at the Shine Finishers Party and Workshop. Congratulations. So first, what I want to look at is sort of the big picture of what stage you might be with your business and with your videos, and what way you want to use video for each stage. I don't really believe that video is just a one-size-fits-all, everyone does the same strategy, because you could be using video in a different way at different stages of your business. So we're first just going to look at what kind of stages you may or may not be in, and just how to think about video for that stage. So there's 3 main stages in your business. So the first one is not having a clear business yet. Now that's okay. A lot of times we have people in here who want to share a message, or they're excited about starting to build an audience online or do something like that, but they don't yet have a monetized business. Maybe they don't have a product. Maybe they're just sort of dipping their toe in the business world, but not quite sure yet what kind of business to make. So this is the kind of unclear stage where you're still in the, I'm just figuring it out. So in this case, you want to use video to sort of talk it out with your audience. Clarify exactly what it is that you want to be sharing and you want to be working on. And you want to then also work on building an audience for when you are clear, for when you do have a business, so that you can kind of take people on the journey with you. What's beautiful about beginning to use video at a stage like this, when you're just beginning, is that you can actually take people on a really cool journey. It really helps with the connection when you can come on and say, I'm going to be working on putting something together around this topic. I'm going to allow you to be part of it all as it unfolds. And what happens is then your videos sort of create almost like a documentary of your journey. And you'll find that you get clearer and clearer. One thing you probably noticed in Shine was that a lot of the topics helped you to really clarify something. So maybe you were talking about your audience or talking about what it is that you want to do in the world, and you probably found that that made things that little bit clearer because you talked it out. It was just talking to the camera, but that really does make a big difference. And it's a wonderful way to build a really connected audience. So if you're in that position, a lot of times people in that position feel like they're somehow behind. But the truth is that actually that's a really good time to begin to incorporate video. I actually started to incorporate video right around the time when I was just starting my business. And that first video I told you guys about where I was really shaky and stuff, that was me actually laying out a goal. And then I documented the process as I went ahead and achieved that. So it was really cool. So in this stage, what you're going to be focusing on is connection videos. You're not really trying to get your audience to do anything yet. You're just focused on allowing them to connect to you and to connect to your message so that they're ready to go when you have a business or a product in place. Okay, so the second kind of stage that you might be in is trying to get traction. Now, this is usually where I think the majority of people who are starting to use video fall. This is when you're probably feeling a little bit overwhelmed, like you're trying to do all the things, you're trying to achieve business success, and there's all this kind of information coming at you of you have to do this, you have to do that, and it becomes incredibly overwhelming because you only have so much energy. And so then what you do is you use video to direct that energy, to make the things that you're doing have more of an impact, because video will have more of an impact than writing blog posts, than running ads, all of those kinds of things. You'll find that what video does is it moves the relationship forward faster. It helps you to build that audience, and it kind of takes each communication that you're making and adds the extra oomph to it. So it kind of makes it as powerful as it possibly can. I figure if you're going to be putting energy into your business, you want it to be having the greatest impact on your business possible. So if you're in that stage, you want to focus on, your main focus will be on connection videos, on using videos to help your audience get to know you and get to know your business. But you also will have offshoots from your connection videos into sales videos and potentially using videos for your multimedia courses. So if you're doing a course and you want to show up in some videos with your face, or show up in some videos, doing kind of like what I'm doing here, kind of talking through a training, that's a really wonderful way to use video and to share your messaging. Now, the third stage is you might already be up and running. You might already have a successful business. And usually if you're coming to video at this stage, it's because you're tired. You've been doing all the things. You're probably pretty successful, but you're trying to somehow free up time, energy, or money. You're trying to free up some of your resources and optimize your results. So what you're looking at doing here is using video to bypass some of the other kind of more legwork things you've been doing. So this would be for like some of the coaches who find that they're doing a lot of discovery calls or things like that. You'll find that a video will, it's not, obviously it's not the same as talking one-on-one to someone, but it still can fast track a relationship and get people to really get to know you before you ever kind of make that final connection with them. So it really does help to up the impact, and it helps you to scale. So you want to think about using video to replace elements of what you're already doing with video, and look at how can you use video in your current process to make it all go faster or easier, or be less time invested, right? So you will be looking at using connection videos as a way to kind of keep that relationship going with your audience, looking at sales and funnels videos in order to replace the things you have been doing on your own, and also, of course, promo videos and multimedia courses like we were talking about. So you just want to take a moment to kind of figure where you are on this three stages. Now, with anything like this, each person is an individual. You might not fall exactly into one category, and that's okay, but you kind of want to start thinking about, how can I be using videos to move myself up this scale and gain the time freedom and the impact that I've been looking to create. So that's kind of where we are on this. So what I want to do next is talk about a video map. And by the way, I totally realize that I talk very fast. I'm trying to crunch a ton of information into this hour and a half. So in order to do that, I am going to be talking really quickly, but do remember that there's a recording and you're going to get the notes afterwards. So that's my disclaimer in case anyone's going, oh my gosh. Okay, so why a video map? So I like to talk about my video strategy as being like a map instead of a strategy or a blueprint. The reason why I like the idea of a map is because it makes me feel a lot more free. So a map gives you the starting point for your, like, where do we want to start with our connection videos, and then being able to look at where we're going stage by stage. So it's kind of just a way of visualizing how you're planning. Now, if you're someone who really likes step-by-step planning, then call it a blueprint, call it whatever makes sense to you, but I just like to call my plans a map. The other great thing about a map is when you go off track with a map, it is okay. It's okay, you know, like when you're driving around and Siri is telling you how to get where you want to go, or whatever the name of the map voice is. But you can go, you know, you can say, you know what, actually I want to take this route, and you'll find that you still get rerouted to the same endpoint. So you still have the same start and end point, but it gives you a little bit of freedom in the middle for inspiration, for creating spontaneous videos, and adjusting based on what's happening with your audience. Because we have one idea of what we want to say, and as soon as we start saying it, our audience starts responding, and we start to go, oh wow, this really works and this really doesn't, or this one really resonated and this one didn't. You probably found that already in the challenge, that there were videos from other people that you responded to more than others, and you know, based on how connected you feel, or the topic matter, and as well, probably people responded differently to different kinds of videos from you. So you'll find that this whole thing is, it's sort of like a plan that we lay out. We know where we're going to start, we know where we're going to end, which is moving up that scale and having videos have a massive impact on your business. But then it's just kind of allowing some space to feel your way there. I'm a big proponent of allowing room for the spontaneity to be there, because otherwise we just turn into robots. So the other thing is, it also keeps you focused on the big picture outcome. So each video is a step, not the whole. So one thing that can happen as we are making videos for our public audience rather than for you know, our more private audience, which would be the Shine Video Challenge, when we're making public videos, we tend to, I think sometimes we tend to feel like it's very, very important, like everything rides on this video, you know. And so then what can happen is anxieties can rise as you feel like this message is incredibly important. But when we think of it as just, you know, I'm making my video for today so I can take it off, and then tomorrow I'll make another one, tomorrow I'll make another one. It doesn't matter whether one video has the impact that you intended or not, because you still are, you still see how it's moving you toward the whole. So it really does help ease any nerves that you might have around sharing videos publicly. So what is part of this video map are first the overall plan or process. This is how are we approaching videos, and this is what we're going to map out today is, you know, kind of how many videos are we doing, where are we sharing our videos, things like that. And then the second part is the daily to-dos. So it's kind of like understanding what we're trying to do, and then each day just doing it and just ticking off the list so that you know that you are moving forward with your videos and it is actually getting you somewhere. Okay? So those are the main components of the map. And first, what we want to look at is our sort of big picture. What are we trying to say here, and where's our starting point? How are we starting this conversation with our audience? Okay, so the first thing we want to do is just gain a little bit of message clarity. And so this is a notebook time, if you have your notebook and pen. So we're just going to take a moment to look at a couple of the components that go into, you know, your messaging and what it is that we're trying to say to the audience. So the first thing is looking at your one main topic. So if you are a nutritionist, your main topic is food and nutrition. If you are a yoga instructor, then your main topic is yoga. You know, so you want to look at what's the main thing that you mostly represent. Not everyone is going to have a nice, neat main thing that they talk about. For me, my main topic is connection marketing. It is just marketing in a way that feels good and that connects to your audience. And so everything that I do is under that umbrella of that main message, and it's then communicating it in all of these little tiny communications over time. So just think about what's your main topic and write that down. And then underneath your main topic, what 3 to 5 areas would you like to talk about? Now, having a few areas, this doesn't limit you to you can only talk about these areas. What it is doing is giving you a place to start. This is giving you a little bit of structure, so you're not just kind of like, okay, let's go make videos, and you go, what about? So this is looking at what are some of the subtopics within that main topic that people are interested in or that you'd like to record videos on. Those two things should definitely both come into it, both that you have some interest and that your audience also would have interest in them as well. So for me, my main topic is connection marketing, which is mostly, you know, taught online. And then underneath that, I talk mostly about video marketing, about messaging, like non-manipulative sales messaging, mindset, and the future and overall trends in online marketing. I really like the trends in online marketing. That's one that I do more because I really enjoy it. But my audience is usually more interested in, you know, video marketing, messaging, the right now things that help them. But I also love to sort of have that topic in there that's looking at where are we going and how are the things that we're doing impacting others. So just take like a minute to write down 3 to 5 areas you'd like to talk about. So again, if it was being a health coach, it could be movement, food, and rest. You know, so you could look at 3 different areas, or it could be mindset towards it, plus what to eat and how to eat, or something like that. You know, so think about your 3 to 5 main areas within your topic. Okay, so I'm just going to keep moving you because the idea is that you do this sort of quickly and off the cuff and you're not too concerned about getting it right because there is no right. So then these areas become the larger messages. So underneath each of these sort of subheadings, you're going to create tons of videos discussing ideas around these topics. So when I'm talking about video marketing, I can be talking about I can talk about the tech, I can talk about how to think about it, I can talk about the mindset around video marketing, around what you're trying to do. I can go on and on and on. I could create and have created hundreds of videos around most of these topics. So these are just sort of these larger catch-all areas so that you kind of have some place to start. So then as well, you want to also remember that through this conversation with your audience, so as you are sharing these videos, this is your starting point, and as you're sharing these videos, you will find that the messaging is really born from that. It's not about creating the like perfect elevator pitch like we talked about within the challenge. It's about having this ongoing conversation. So as you're recording videos, you are listening to your audience, you're listening to the comments, you're seeing how they respond, and you're looking at what else they need. And you'll find that as you speak from the heart, it's really cool. Like each time you do it, it's a little bit different. It's always unique. It's always fresh. And you'll find that your message deepens and deepens because you're not just reciting an elevator pitch, you are talking about where you're at right now. And all of online business is this constant evolution, and it's constantly created by both you and your audience. It's not just you in a vacuum, it's you plus how people respond. Anyway, that's a total sidebar. See, I love talking about trends and stuff like that. But what you're looking at to do is sort of blend what you want to say with what other people want to hear. And what's interesting is that really happens in the wild. It's not something that we can pre-plan for. So that's why we have this starting topics and conversation as a way to get going. And you'll find that, a lot of people are really scared of coming up with endless video topics. And the truth is that it is really easy. Once if you're not recording videos regularly, it's tough. You're kind of wondering, what do people want to hear? What do I want to say? But you'll find that the more you record videos, the more it's like you see the world through a video filter. You're always seeing potential for topics. If you blog a lot or anything like that, you've definitely experienced this of like all of a sudden you go, oh, this would make a good topic. This would be a good thing to talk about. Or someone will leave a comment and you'll go, I'll make a video on that. And you'll find that you actually have way more video ideas than you'd believe right now. So, okay, but let's look at potential topics. So now we have our main headline, big topic. We have the subtopics. Now we're going to look at specific individual videos. Oh, no, we're not. I forgot how my slides go. Okay, before we do that, we also want to look at what we need or don't need before starting. This is really important because when you're thinking about going public, a lot of times people go, okay, I know where I want to start, but I'm going to wait to start until I'm at this particular point, or they think they have to wait for a certain thing to happen, like your YouTube channel to be fully optimized and ready, which you can do, but you don't have to do, things like that. So here's first what you don't need in order to go public with your videos. You don't need an audience. You don't need to have anyone to actually talk to yet, because if you learn how to use YouTube correctly, YouTube pretty much gives you audience members for your videos. So you don't need to already have people to talk to. That can be created as you go. No one has an audience until they get started on any kind of communication, and video is just the same. You don't need a website. So you don't need to wait until your website is fully ready to go and represents everything that you do. If you start recording videos, you'll find that your audience then is ready to go for when you do have a website or you do have somewhere to send them. You don't need a business, as we talked about. Even if you don't have any kind of business idea, but you just know topics that you want to talk about, you can be sharing videos on YouTube or on Facebook and starting to create an audience, and then allowing your business to unfold and evolve based on what it is that you're actually interested in doing once you have begun to create this audience. You also don't need anything to sell. It's kind of the same as a business, but just to reiterate, because again, lots of people really want to wait till their product is ready or the launch is ready to go. And then at that point, you're trying to connect and sell at the same time, but why not just connect first? So what you do need is you do need a real desire to connect. So remember when, I can't remember what day it was day 5 or day 6, when we introduced ourselves and talked about our businesses, and we talked about it as though we're talking to a friend or relative. The reason that we did that was to take some of the anxiety away of talking about our business on video. If your desire, when you turn on the camera, if your intention is to connect to your audience, to connect and inform, you find that your anxiety levels lower. Because if your desire is to sell them on something, then you get really concerned about getting it right because there's either a yes or a no of sale. But if it's about connecting, then you just turn on the camera and talk and then allow that connection to sort of unfold over time. So it really does take away a lot of the anxiety and fear. You also need a place to gather people. Okay, so this doesn't mean that you have to have like an email list, but you need a place for people to be able to follow on your videos. So if you are sharing videos from your Facebook fan page, that's a place to gather people. Then in your videos, you can let people know to like the fan page to see more. If you have a YouTube channel, that can be a place to gather them. If you have a Facebook group, that can be a place to gather them. And when we get to calls to action in a little bit, we'll look at how you get people to these places. But it's just you want to have somewhere to start to build this audience. So if you're starting on YouTube, then YouTube's a great place to grow your subscribers, your video subscribers, so they'll see your future videos as they come out. So you do need somewhere to share your videos and that your audience can somehow follow you and be able to see future videos. And if you do have a product, you just need a pathway to send them to. So if you're a coach, I know a lot of people in here are coaches. So if you're a coach and you're booking, at the moment you're booking people into free calls and that's how they decide to work with you, then all you have to do in a video is say, hey, here's where you go to book a free call. So if you do have something to sell, you just want to know where you can shoot people off from your videos into your business. That's an important point because if you don't see how it connects to your business, then you won't keep making videos. And it's important as that it's a skill that you maintain and you keep doing. So you do want to, if you have a product, just know how does someone get from my video to my product? And usually it's just letting them know that you have either an opt-in or a free call or a schedule. Like one of the things I've seen people do very successfully in the past is say, my email address is in the description, and have people email them as a next step. But you just need to know what that is if you do have a business. And we won't dig into that too much tonight. Strategy is a little bit of a deeper topic, but just know that you want a way for people to go into your business from your videos. So then let's look at how I map. So now that we've got that before, so I probably should have rearranged those. So step one, let's dig into this overall plan and process. Okay, so do you guys have your notepads ready? Because this is, again, a bit where we're going to be writing down. Okay, so the first part of the overall plan and process is knowing how many videos are you going to make per week. Okay, I always encourage people to make at least 2 videos per week, because less than 2, you'll find that the habit gets a little bit rusty. Making videos is a lot like building muscle, so if you've ever been to the gym, you know that if you take too many days off, you're weaker the next time you go. It's harder to get yourself to go. And it's kind of like the muscle has gotten a little bit weaker. But if you maintain it, you can keep the same level of strength just by going a couple times a week. So video is the exact same. If you keep recording 2 videos a week, you'll find that you can maintain the comfort level that you have now on video. So you want to have at least 2 videos per week and no more than 7, unless you are creating a course or something where there's a reason for there to be a vast amount of videos. But your audience probably won't watch more than 1 a day if this is just for sharing with your audience. So how many videos are you going to make per week is the first part of your plan. And just pick the number that feels right for you. There's no right answer. Between 2 and 7, more than 7 if you're creating a course and you want to move fast. Okay, so then number 2 is, which days will you upload them? Now, just to answer this question, because it always comes up, there is no right day to upload. There's no day that you're going to get more engagement or less engagement. There's no perfect time to upload your videos. The perfect thing to do is whatever your audience responds to best. Everyone's audiences are slightly different. Some people are on social media over the weekends, some people aren't. Some people are on in the mornings and off in the evenings, and some people are the other way around. So you want to kind of play around with which days you're going to upload them and see what works for your audience, but just pick now. So if you're recording 2 videos a week, you might upload on a Tuesday and a Thursday, just as arbitrary days that I'm picking out of my head. So which days will you upload them, and write them down so you know exactly when. Now, which days will you record them? Remember, recording is different from uploading. Uploading is about when you want to be sharing with your audience and then engaging. But recording is about when you feel suits you best to get good light and to get heart open and to feel great in recording your videos. So a lot of the people who are in Light It Up, for example, my hat, I went to scratch my head and the hat was in the way. A lot of people who are in Light It Up will batch, so they'll record 3 or 4 videos maybe on a Monday and then space them out when they upload them during the week. Now, the only thing that's obviously to be aware of is that you do need to record before uploading. So if you wanted to record on a Friday, then you might be recording and then uploading those videos the following week. But you just want to have your upload days planned and your recording days planned. If you don't plan this now, you won't keep making videos. It's just one of the, well, unless you're really, really good at managing managing doing something kind of at a time that feels good to you. For most of us, while we're building a new habit and beginning to use something new in our business, the structure of knowing when we're going to do it means that it happens. In Shine Video Challenge, many of you did it on the day that it was on because that was the day to do it. Many of you caught up yesterday because that was the final day that you could. But without that reason to do it, you probably wouldn't have recorded 10 videos yesterday, without having some kind of deadline. So this is just giving yourself that mental deadline to keep you recording videos. So without these planned, it's just less likely that you'll record. I shouldn't say you wouldn't because I don't know, everyone's a little bit different, but you do want to have this planned. Okay, so now the fourth part of this is looking at what 3 things will you do with your video after you upload. Now this is where people always think that there's sort of a right thing, and there are useful things to do with your videos depending on what strategy you're doing. Like I teach a YouTube strategy. What you're doing with your videos for that is a little bit different than what you're doing with a Facebook strategy. But what you want to do for now is just have a simple plan. Again, all of this planning is just to make it easy for us. So as you're recording your videos, you never want to have a question mark over your head of like, what do I do now? You want to know exactly what you're doing so you can execute when it's something that is sort of new or nerve-wracking, so you can tick it off your to-do list. Okay, so once you upload your video, what 3 things will you do? So examples are, you might share your video onto your fan page. You might share it onto your Facebook wall. You might send it in an email newsletter if you have one. If you're in Light It Up, that should actually probably be number 1, to go share it in the Light It Up video marketing group so you can get comments. But you want to just list 3 different places that you can put your video. So it could be put it on my website, send it to my newsletter, stick it on my fan page, something like that. There's no right way. What you want to think about is, where do you already have an audience that you talk to, and putting your video in those spaces. So just pick 3 things to write it down now so that you know when you start to record your videos, you don't have to sit there and wonder what to do with them. This will kickstart your audience and kickstart your connection with your videos. Okay, so step 2, now that we have the overall part, which is the big picture plan, what exactly are we trying to do each week? Now we're gonna look at what kinds of topics you want to use in connection videos. Now there are many different types of videos, including course videos, sales videos, promo videos, bridge videos, intro videos, lots of different kinds of videos that I teach. But in this, for the context of this, we're going to look at the connection videos, because no matter what of those 3 stages you're in your business, you want to be using connection videos. The vast majority of the videos you create are connection videos. So connection just means videos that allow your audience to establish a deeper connection to you. So these will be things that you're using publicly for your audience, not the stuff that you're maybe sharing with clients or customers, or putting on a sales page or that kind of thing. But this is how we're talking to our audience with video. Okay, so connection videos, here's just a bunch of categories, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do some planning with these. But I want to go over the types of connection videos you can create first, okay? So the first type is stories and experiences. So this is just sharing the stories of things that happen in your life, just in your regular daily life, and experiences that you're having that your audience can get something from. So it's not just sharing a story that happened to you, but you always want to somehow tie this into something that they can learn or something that they can go and apply in their own life. So for example, my lovely friend Jackie Lee, who might or might not be on this today, she shared a story once on her blog about standing in line and a sudden realization that she had about standing in lines, and how it applied to her audience was, I can't remember the exact lesson actually, but I remember thinking, wow, she wrote a really cool blog about standing in a line. So it's the same thing, only with videos, just thinking about the things that are happening to you, because what these do is they create a strong connection. As someone hears your story, they're visualizing it in their head, so they're actually seeing you in a real world picture. So it really makes a big difference. The second kind are tips and solutions. Now, tips and solutions are very much not about you, but about your audience. So this is something light and simple that people can use in their life right now. What's great about tips and solutions is it allows people to apply what they're learning from you, which means that they're thinking about you outside of watching a video. So if on watching a video, someone like in our book recommendation topic, a lot of you guys were mentioning different books, and I was going to Amazon and noting them down. And I still remember from a couple of challenges ago, right now I'm reading a book, I still remember the video of the person who recommended it. And so when people are out there applying these tips, they're thinking of you, and they're thinking of you in a way that is someone who can help them. So this really gets you into sort of the right kind of connection and relationship. Now, aha moments are similar to stories and experiences, but these are kind of like sudden realizations. So a sudden realization that you had that maybe can help your audience. New perspective. This is one of my favorites because these get tons of engagement when you can give someone a new perspective on something that they're used to seeing a particular way. So for example, when I talk about how to talk about sales, and I say connect and inform instead of, crafting the perfect words, that's a new perspective. Most kind of copywriters or online marketing people will tell you, you want to make sure to say this and say that to be the most persuasive, and you want it to be this long and that kind of thing. And so my perspective is, let's just connect and inform our audience, just make sure they know and allow them to come to this realization. And so a new perspective just makes your audience think about something differently. And again, it helps you stand out from the crowd. Number 5 is your vision for the world. So this is kind of getting into like the big beliefs that we talked about in day 8 or 9. I can't remember exactly which days, but it's kind of thinking about what are the bigger messages that you want to represent, and how you see the world changing and unfolding, and what you kind of the part that you want to play in this. So often it's talking about the changes that you see happening and what you think your audience can do to kind of move forward with that change. Number 6 is metaphors. Now, metaphors are really, really great ways to explain things. Like I always use metaphors in my sales videos because it's a really wonderful way to get your audience to visualize what you are saying. So if you can explain something to them, but as soon as you get it into a metaphor, you'll find that they understand it better. It just gets it into language that people can really get. So I talk all the time about how the internet is a complex adaptive system, which sounds kind of nerdy and kind of like, wait, what is that? And unless you read a lot about complexity, you're probably haven't heard of that phrase. And so then what I like to do is say, it's kind of like a river, where if someone is in the same part of the river, that the waters keep changing. And that's actually, I totally didn't come up with that. That is Heraclitus, a philosopher, came up with that metaphor. But it's a really, really good one. So it means that like if you're stepping into the same place, if you're doing the exact same thing as someone else, it's not going to work the same because everything is constantly changing in that space. So metaphor just kind of makes someone have a visual image of what you're talking about which also helps keep things from getting boring. So topical issues. Okay, topical issues are great ways to create a video that people want to watch right now. So I'm not even going to touch on the kinds of topical issues you could be talking about right now, because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world at the moment. But you could also be talking about summer. You could be talking about how to stay healthy while you go on your summer holiday if you're a health person. If you're an online business person, it could be how to keep your business going when everyone else goes on holiday. If you're in Australia, you could be talking about how to interact with the rest of the world when it's summer for them and winter for you, and how that's a funny thing you all share. You know, so you want to think about the kinds of things that are coming up for people right now. But it's kind of like, if you think about it, it'd be pretty weird right now if you shared a video about Halloween, because it's just not what we're all talking about or thinking about right now, because that happens at a different time of the year. So you want to think about topics that you can talk about right now that really get to what people are thinking about and are concerned about right now. One thing to be aware of with topical issues is if you do want to dig into politics and things that people are really very concerned about, that you're aware that it can kind of be opening up a can of worms, and you want to ask yourself, do you want to engage in this conversation or not? Because sometimes we can make a video on something and then find we're in the middle of a debate. So you just want to make sure that it's something you do want to be talking about. And the final one, I think, is transformation and watershed moments. So again, this is kind of going back to stories. Stories really, really will help you in your videos to help people get to know you as a real person. But transformation and watershed moments are the big moments in your life. So, you know, I shared with you guys some of the big things that had happened to me when we did that obstacles you've overcome. Many of you shared some really powerful experiences in that. And those are kind of those moments where you transform or you learn something about yourself, or something changes for you, you know, so you can think about those real big moments in your life. And when you're sharing them, you know, you always want to think about what's for sharing, what's for keeping, you know, what feels good to share and will help and support your audience, and what kind of things do you want to keep private. You don't have to share everything, obviously. But these can make really great topics for really having an impact on people. And also you want to think about it as a way to help people see what your journey has been. So transformation works really, really well in sales videos or in promotional videos as well, because you can talk about how you transformed from the kind of experience your audience is having now to figuring it out or to solving the problem and things like that. So it can be a wonderful way to connect to your audience and also help them see that you can help them get where they want to go. Okay, so those are the main connection video topics. There are obviously lots more, but these are great ones to start with. I like to kind of move between probably those top 4 ones the most: stories, tips, aha moments, and new perspectives. I kind of tend to rotate between those. And then the other ones, I tend to use the vision, metaphors, topical issue, and watershed moments. I tend to use every now and again in a bigger video. So a video where I'm promoting something, or a video where I have been thinking about it for a while and then record it, you know? So they're not sort of my offhand videos as much, but you might find your experience is different. So those are the topics. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a 50 things list. Okay. So we're going to take 10 minutes right now to plan out a bunch of video topics. Okay, so a 50 things list is an exercise that I love, love, love to do. All of my clients and the people who've been through my group mentorship and stuff like that have done dozens of these. But this is my favorite way to come up with ideas, because I find that we can sit and kind of go, what's my next video topic going to be? And it will feel very important, and it will take forever to come up with the perfect topic. So a way of bypassing some of our perfectionism is to just list out a bunch of stuff. So with your 50 things list, what we're going to do is we're going to set a timer for 10 minutes, and I'm going to put that last slide back up, and you're just going to list as many topics as you possibly can. If you get stuck, the idea is to kind of keep your pen moving and to get to 50. So if you get stuck, just write something ridiculous, like a video about squirrels or a video about making cake. And it doesn't matter what it is, just something to keep your hand moving. So what happens is partway through the 50 things list, your brain gets a little bit tired when your conscious mind runs out of ideas, but you'll find that then you get these random ideas from your subconscious, which tend to be a little bit crazy, and then you'll find that some really good stuff will come up. So you just have to keep going. That's the key to this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put the last slide back on. I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes, and I want you to just list as many video topics as you can in that time. Remember, you're not going to have to use all of these. They don't have to be perfect. It's just about getting to 50. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the time now. 2 more minutes, so keep writing your ideas. If you're joining us late, we're just writing down 50 video topic ideas. Okay, so as you're getting your final thoughts on paper, start putting into the chat how many you got. So if you guys want to write into the chat, how many topic ideas did you get to? And just go ahead and start finishing up. Okay, let's see. Chat. Where are you, chat? Okay, so we have 65, Barbara, wow, 22, 40, 29, 25, 13, 32, 28, 30, 40, 29, 23, 42, 35. Wow, you guys, this is great. 40, 36, 30, more than 50. Good job, Susan. 27, 19, cool, you guys. Kira, it's totally fine if they take longer than that. That's totally fine. 50 from Sharon. Good job. Let's see, 28, 40. You guys have done great. Diane did 62. Woohoo! Wow, guys, good job. And thanks for doing that. I know that can be really challenging, but you'll find that it really helps to sort of get the creative juices going and helps you to realize you probably have more topics. That was just in a 10-minute sprint. Usually I do 50 things list for 15 minutes, and you'd be amazed. You can apply this to all kinds of things, and you end up really getting things going for yourself. Okay, so now that we've done that 50 things list, the next thing to do is filter it down. So the first thing you want to do is take that sheet of paper and take your pen and just gently go over each idea and circle the ones that feel like ooh, yes, something that you feel would be fun. And it's kind of much more very quick, just scroll down the paper and circle anything that's like, yep, I want to do this one, particularly the ones that make you go, oh yeah, I can't wait to get to that one. So just take 1 minute to do that. Now, this is really more of a sort of gut check, cross the things off you really don't want, and look at what you do want. So now that you've circled the ones that you do want, and it's okay if you circled practically all of them. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes I only circle 3 or 4. But the idea is to sort of filter out the ones that you really want to do. So now we want to get down to your number of videos. Okay, so if you're making a plan for the next 30 days, say, and you decided that you were going to do 2 videos a week, that's 8 videos, right? So what you want to do now is just put a star next to 8 of the videos that you want to do. Now, if you didn't get 8 topics out of this, that's okay. We just took 15 minutes to do this. You probably got 2 or 4 topics that you can do, and that will keep you going for the next couple of weeks. So just quickly put a star next to the ones you want to use straight away. Okay, so now what you want to do is put them onto the calendar. So if you said that you're going to be uploading on a Tuesday and a Thursday, then next Tuesday, okay, I don't know the dates. Tuesday is the 23rd and Thursday is the 25th, right? So next to the first two, you want to put the 23rd, the 25th, just so you know exactly when these are supposed to be uploaded. Okay, and you probably will want to do this in a little bit more detail at the end of our call and put them onto your actual calendar, whatever kind of tracking system you use. If you use a wall calendar, if you use a physical calendar, if you use an app, get your videos and when they're meant to be uploaded onto the calendar and onto your schedule. Now, if you don't have time to put them onto that final spot today, make sure you do it tomorrow when you're doing your plan for the week so that you know exactly when you're going to be uploading and which topics you're going to be uploading, and you'll find that then it just kickstarts your whole public video plan. Okay? Yeah, so when are you going to be recording? When are you going to be uploading? Okay, and then the final piece to creating these videos is adding a call to action. Okay, so now we know what topics we want to talk about, when we want to upload them, and when we want to record them. So now we want to know, what do we want our audience to do from these videos? Okay, so I'm going to briefly go over the main calls to action, and you can just look at which ones apply to your topics. Okay, so call to action is, we talked about it in one of the videos, I think maybe the final video, but a call to action is asking your audience to actually take an action at the end of your video. So it's really useful to use calls to action, because what they do is while someone is listening to you, if you tell them to do something, you'll find that a lot of the time they want to do it. If they enjoyed the video, they'll want to do whatever thing you ask them to do. So the first type of call to action is to set an expectation. So I do this all the time in the Shine challenges. You know, I'll say, see you in the next video, or I'll say, I can't wait to see your video. So it's kind of letting them know when's the next communication going to happen. And it's sort of assuming that they're going to come back and watch more videos. I love saying, see you in the next video. It's just a simple way to have people come back. So it's pretty much the easiest call to action to do. The second kind is joining the conversation. So asking them to do something where they actually have to respond to your topic. So if you're talking about how you get up early in the morning, ask them to comment below with their tips for getting up earlier in the morning, or how early do they get up in the morning and what's their morning routine. You know, so you can ask them to comment in a way that contributes to the conversation you've started with your video. The third kind of call to action is a relationship next step. Okay, so this is, you know, we talked earlier about that place that you want to gather your people. So what you want to do is tell people what to do in order to be in that space. So if you're wanting to gather people on your YouTube channel, often you would be asking them to subscribe. If you're wanting to gather people on your Facebook wall, you'd ask them to send you a friend request. So you're going to ask them to take the step that will put them into your audience so they will catch your next video. And I do that often, like, if you enjoyed this video, I talk about this and other kinds of things like this a lot. Go ahead and hit subscribe so you can catch my next one. And I find that that really helps people to take that action. Now, we're only ever using one of these calls to action per video, so you just have to choose which one it's going to be in each video, and I find that that makes it easier. I put this as part of the plan because then you don't have to sit and go, oh, what should I have them do? Or you don't have to, like, sometimes I used to like think about it while recording. I'd be thinking about, oh, what should I tell them to do now? And I'd find that then I accidentally blather on and make the video go way too long because I simply didn't take the time to pick a call to action in advance. Number 4 is a freebie offer. So that would be if you have something free to offer, an opt-in or something that puts people onto your email list. You want to use this if the topic you're talking about in the video is very closely related to the freebie offer. So if your freebie offer is 99 ways to get whiter teeth, and then your video is one of the things that you do to brush better, I don't know. I don't know where these topics are coming from. Then it would be very easy to say, you know, at the end of your video, well, that was just one of the ways that I have helped my teeth get whiter. If you want another 98, I actually have a full ebook that you can get. It's totally free. Just click the link in the description of this video. So you want to make it be an obvious next step from the topic. You don't want to always be suggesting your freebie offer because then your audience kind of tunes out. Number 5 is info on a sales offer. So if you are running a promotion, or every now and again, if it really makes sense in the context of the video, then you can ask people if they want to click the link to learn more about your product or service. I don't do this very often, but if I have a promo, I'll do it in almost every video during that week where I'm promoting, and then the rest of the time it's just like, see you in the next video and simpler things. Excuse me. So for what you want to do for your plan then is just look at the 2 topics, or the however many topics you picked for next week, and write down what you want to do as the call to action next to it. Do you want to be just saying see you in the next video, or asking them to comment, asking them to subscribe? Just look at what makes sense for that topic and just make a little note of it so that you know what to do when you go to record. This is going to make your life so much easier, this kind of planning. Okay, so I know I'm kind of moving a little bit slower than I hoped, even with all my very fast talking. So I'm going to keep moving forward. You guys can come back to your plan if you don't have it all done yet. Okay, so I want to talk very briefly about making the move to public videos. I don't want to make anyone feel nervous if they're not nervous, but most people, when they come to recording public videos after doing it privately in a challenge, it's a little bit nerve-wracking. It's just a slightly different space to speak. So I want to give you a few pointers to help you in making that transition. So the first is, it's just like that first private video you shared in Shine. You probably had a little voice in your head that was telling you were doing a terrible job, or you sounded funny, or you were being ridiculous, or you talked too much, or you talked too little, or you know the voice, right? So that little voice, I find, gets quieter and quieter over time. As you get used to talking and doing your videos, you just don't worry about it as much. But each time you're into a new space, or a new audience, or a new medium, you'll find that it does come up a little bit. So I want you to think back to how you felt on day 1 of Shine, and if you're feeling similar, just remember that how much easier it felt after the first one, because you will have that exact same experience with public videos. So you want to just rip the Band-Aid off and get your first public video out as soon as possible. So if you haven't done a public video yet for your audience, I'll give you a topic right now, which is tell your audience that you're going to be recording videos and ask them what they want to know. You know, that's one of my favorite ways to just get out there, super easy. If that feels too scary, remember the book review. Go tell them about a book that you've read recently. It's very easy to talk about other people. So just do something to get your first video up and out, and you'll find that you feel easier from there. The other thing to do is just think about what you're afraid of. For a lot of people, it's rejection or judgment. It's lack of interest. And look at how you can solve those fears. So, you know, a lot of us, I think, we're worried about, well, what are people going to say, or what if they don't watch at all? So how can you prepare yourself so that if and when those things come up, because they do come up, look at how you can kind of insulate yourself a little bit so that you can move forward, and you can find that it does get easier as you go. So the first thing you want to do is look at changing the outcome you want. So zoom in on right now. Instead of thinking about, I want to create public videos so that they can have an impact and I can make tons of money and all this great stuff, then your videos are going to feel super important, and it's going to become very scary. So then what we want to do is just zoom in on right now of, I want to tick off recording a video this week because you've told me I should. And then tick, and you'll find that it's much easier. It doesn't matter what happens to the video. All that matters is that you tick it off so you know you're on your map. You know you've started. That's the important thing. You want to start also with connection videos. If you feel nervous, start by doing videos where you're not asking people to do something. So you're not telling them about some upcoming promo. You're not telling them about your business. You're just starting with videos where the intention is just to establish the connection. Gather supporters. So either, if you're in Light It Up, we are your supporters. We go out and publicly comment on your videos and make sure that you never have that lack of interest. But also you might have other people in your life who are great supporters as well. So you want to think about who can help you and support you, and maybe have those friends that you can let them know, hey, I'm going to be recording some videos. I'm nervous about it. Support me a little bit. And you'll find that doing that in advance does really, really help. It also gives you some accountability. If people know that you're going to be recording videos, then you're more likely to do it as well if you've told someone else. So I want to very briefly as well go over an intro to what exactly Light It Up Video Marketing is, as we do have our special offer on until Wednesday. And I know that for many of you, it will be the perfect next step to take with your videos. So we're here really to support you in executing your plan and in whatever stage that you might be in, whether you're in the stage where you're brand new and you don't have a business yet, or you're looking at how to incorporate and do some of the things that you're already doing in business using video. We can help you out with that. So the first part of it is the membership training site. So it's got loads of different courses. It's kind of like a one-stop shop for all things video. So we have lots of different courses on the kinds of things you probably want to know now. Like you probably want to know how to do editing to make your videos more professional, how to start to build a YouTube channel and a YouTube audience and gain video traffic that way, how to use your videos on Facebook, how to do Facebook Live, things like that. So we have courses there, and you can either go through them in order, or you can just go in and grab the ones that you want to learn about. So they're on things like, there's three main sections of the site. There's content, which is like what you're saying in your videos, what goes into your videos. So it's how to record, video types, all the different types that we talked about today that aren't connection videos, ideas and prompts as well. We have creation, which is making the videos. So that's your video tips, editing, and things like screen share. So things like creating videos for courses. And a connection section, which is all about marketing your videos. So that I have my Facebook strategy in there, my YouTube strategy, and also overall video marketing and how that fits into your business. And then the second main part of Light It Up is the community support. So we have a Facebook group. It runs similar to Shine, except that, of course, you can post directly on the wall. So you're not in your circle, but you're actually interacting with the group as a whole. So the community is there to support you with public comments, for example, so you can avoid having crickets. So when you share a video, you can use our public commenting system to get some public comments on it so that you know that there will be some support. It helps the algorithms, but it also helps you in terms of, feeling great knowing that there's some interaction going to happen on your video. We also have private and public prompts regularly and feedback on your video. So this helps you keep the muscle going in case you're not too sure about doing your own topics yet. If you want to use the prompts as topics to get started, that's no problem. We have prompts that you can use publicly with your audience, or prompts that you can play with kind of like you did in Shine if you want to keep practicing for a while before you go public. And it's a safe space, so you can try new things out on us. You can ask questions, get support. A lot of times people will share their sales videos there first to get some feedback, or they will go live in there to try it out so that they aren't kind of trying to figure that out in front of their audience, things like that. And we also run regular challenges and workshops. We have a monthly workshop, and every couple of months we run a challenge. So in June, we're going to be doing a Facebook Live mini challenge. So that's going to be totally in the safe space of the group so that you can try going live. Now, you don't have to take part in the challenges if you're in Light It Up, but they're there for you if you want them. So if you wanted to try doing live video in a totally safe space with prompts, it's a great way to do it and see if you like it. Some people love live video and end up going, this is so much easier than recorded. And some people it's the other way around, but you never know unless you try. So that is what Light It Up is. Okay, now I want to let you guys know what is going to happen next. I'm going to answer some of these questions because these come up a lot too. And then we're going to dig into questions, which is exciting. Okay, so first, our videos, the Shine videos, are going to stay up for 1 week, and then we're going to take them all down. We're going to take all of the group posts down. That's really important for the privacy of everyone involved, that these videos that you recorded here for our group and for your circle, just that there's not going to be just sitting there. We are going to delete them all, or delete everything from the group on Monday the 29th. So you guys aren't behind, but But you can be popping in there to kind of have a look at the different things before then. The group then is going to go dormant until the next challenge. So the next challenge will likely be in September. It will likely be a 30-day one. It's our Ignite challenge is, I think, what we're planning. So if you haven't done the Ignite one, that's fun. It's a lot like Shine, except it's a little bit longer, a little more intense. Also, Lighted Up Video Marketing is going up to full price on Wednesday at midnight. So if you've been thinking about it, I would definitely recommend jumping in ASAP. And now we get to my favorite bit, which is questions from everyone. Now, I wanted to ease you in and kind of give you an idea of what you can do next by having a couple of our past participants from past challenges who are also Lighted Up video marketers share what they've been doing with video. So I'm wondering, let's see, I think Diane, Annie Matthias wanted to hop out. So Annie, if you can raise your hand, maybe Tara can find you. You can hop out and share with us what you've been doing with video. And while we're getting Annie unmuted, I'd love for you guys to be thinking about what you'd like to ask. When it comes to questions, what we're going to do is we can, hang on, let me just stop sharing this. It's gonna be easier. Hey, okay. So when it comes to questions, what we will do is if you wanna ask a question, you can use the raise your hand thing. Tara might be able to tell you guys how to do that. And what we'll ask you to do is ask one question. So I want you to think about what your question is so you can ask your complete question, because once you've asked your question, we're going to go ahead and mute you back up again. That just helps us to get to more people. So if you have a question, I want you to think about asking it all so that we can get it all answered for you. So Annie, I see you there. Are you unmuted? Hi.
Hi. Well, I think this is great. I love being in the Lighted Up video, and I'm not being paid for this, by the way. I'm not a coach. And thanks to this learning to make videos and the support of the team, oh my gosh, I wanted to tell you just one thing that I've done with the videos. So I'm a labyrinth walker. I love teaching labyrinth walking. But not everybody can walk labyrinths. Maybe they're older, or maybe it's 125 in the desert heat like we have here. So I created these ceramic labyrinths, and they're made out of ceramic with glaze. And what I do with the videos is, first of all, I did a video that taught about what they were and what's a finger labyrinth. And then I did a video that talked about how you use one. And then, thanks to my Lighted Up community and their suggestions, I've done 2 finger walking labyrinth meditations. And I've been selling these. I really sell them internationally. And it's been wonderful because, oh my gosh, just all the different places that people can go to my, also established a YouTube channel. Whoops, excuse me. Big dog. Also established a YouTube channel. I have a Facebook fan page. But doing the videos and being able to put them up, at first I put one up, not publicly in the Lighted Up marketing, and people gave me great feedback. It's really, this has just been, for me, because I work in my own business, it's like the getting together with other staff, even though I don't know if there's anybody else who's doing ceramics out there or how many artists there are, but it's basically encouraging each other, helping each other with the videos. It's really been a life-changing event.
I have to show them then that I have, you can see in the background, I have my own finger labyrinth that I bought from Annie after watching one of her videos. I was like, that's a great video. And by the way, where can I get one, please? Because they're just so beautiful. So thank you so much for that, Annie. And what is your favorite aspect of Lighted Up video marketing? What's your favorite?
I love the community. Well, first of all, I have to say the teachings were fabulous. I had no idea how to set up a YouTube channel. I had no idea how to do the Facebook thing, the Facebook fan page, what to expect. And oh my gosh, when I would put a video up, people from the Lighted Up video marketing group, they go to my Facebook page and they say, I really like this. So you're not left with a Facebook page with no comments. And that kind of support is really, really important to me. And if I have questions, I just love having a go-to place so I don't feel overwhelmed, because sometimes if I feel overwhelmed, I'll just be like a deer in the headlights and I'll just stop. So I love being a part of this community. And Neve, actually, the other day, we were talking about videos, and you know, a lot of people were talking about this and that, and I said, well, I really want to do kind of an artistic video and use my music in the background. She just said, Annie, you're an artist. Your videos are your art. And it was like, oh, so I'm always learning wonderful things here. And it, you know, I love how it's so diverse. It doesn't matter if you make what you do, if you're a lawyer or if you're a coach or if you're an artist or whatever.
Yeah, we do have at least one lawyer in there that I know.
Yeah, so. It just works. It works clear across the field. So thanks for letting me share.
Oh, thank you so much, Annie. And thanks for sharing your video experience. And I love actually getting to talk to you about it because you do something really different and interesting with your videos. And it's been wonderful to see like how cool it is. You were sharing a video with us, like, oh, what do you guys think? And then you share it and then you start getting sales. And we're like, well, I guess it really was a good video.
Because I'm comfortable on video now, I do storytelling. Like these are my little sheep peeps, and at Christmas time, they actually talked and they did a little story. I sold out of them.
Wow.
I would have never had the courage to do that before, because here I am, you know, my little sheep are making little voices and they're talking, but it was so much fun. And, you know, because I would have had such a great fear of rejection, but it was a blast. I'll make them again this year.
Oh, thanks so much, Annie. And we have to, I want to make sure we get tons of time for questions. So thank you. And Tara, if you can find Barbara Corrine Abraham. Barbara wanted to jump out and share a little bit of her experience as well. And then we'll get into questions. So Barbara, maybe you can raise your hand and help Tara to find you. So it's Barbara.
She's
Corrine.
unmuted. Yep.
Yay. Yeah, well, first of all, wonderful and great to see everybody. Yay.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm really just a big fan. I mean, I started with the Ignite Challenge at the beginning of the year, and that just really got me sparked and motivated. And I was still literally in the early stages of my business. I decided that I wanted to do a coaching, but I was clueless how. And literally the Ignite, it just fine-tuned it. I mean, I went from a big, broad idea perspective to something I could really grab. And then the going public, because come on, the first time I was like, am I really going to do it? So I really, really, really just so enjoyed the support of everybody in the community. And now I'm ready to hop on to literally, hey, stage number 2. It was nice watching it because it really was like, oh yeah, good. I'm on to the next step. Now I'm really just, my 65 things later.
Yay! Well, Barbara, I have to say, I love that you wanted to come out and talk about your experience, because you are one of the people who joined Light It Up before your business was actually up and running. And so you were one of those stage 1 people. So how did you find video helped you to move from stage 1 to stage 2?
Well, like I said, it really just transformed it from something ungraspable, just some thoughts, ideas, to fine-tuning it. It's like you're almost like the 3 main topics. It's like you really are focused on what aspects you want to bring towards your audience, what you want to sell or give, what is your force, your strength. And literally using video, that just, it made it. Without it, I probably would be still drifting somewhere. So I'm very happy.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for hopping out. And we're so proud of you as well, because you posted recently in the group that your business has just gone public and that you're officially in stage 2. So congratulations.
Thanks.
Oh, wonderful. And I'm going to move really quickly on, because we had one more person who wanted to jump out, but thank you so much, Barbara. And thanks for staying up late. I know it's like 10:30 or something where you are, so thank you. Wonderful. And Christine Fanning, I think, wanted to jump out. Tara, if we can find Christine. Christine, if you're on, if you could raise your hand. I know it's Were you
Got her.
on as well?
Can you hear me? Hi.
Hi.
Everyone. Hi, thanks, Niamh. Yeah, I did want to come on. I've been a bit of a veteran to these challenges, so I've done a few, and I've loved every one of them, and I've really enjoyed being a circle leader. So first of all, the whole opportunity has given me that space to step into a leadership role, and that opportunity to hold space for other people doing their journey. So that has been really important and crosses over in many skills in what I do in my business. And my business is always ever evolving, but I'm a network marketer, and have been very tentatively marketing video on my newsfeed or on my timeline, because I'm very much a connector, so I always tap into the energy of what people I think kind of want to hear, or what the message is that I'd like to reach out to people. But I got sales directly from my videos, from my first videos, that when I first started, giving testimonies and things like that. And more importantly, I suppose, in the Light It Up community, I've developed friendships online that I didn't actually recognize as my intention for being there, but it just kind of evolved very naturally. And it gave me a sense, actually, I think Light It Up gave me a sense of, oh, this is what it feels like to be in the flow when, your business is making money and it's not effort, that you're finding people and connecting to people and making friends and all that kind of thing. So then I was easily able to cross that over into all other aspects of my business, because I'd internalized that and I'd experienced it there within the community. So that has been really powerful for me, and priceless, really. And then I suppose with video, I have also been using it an awful lot in training my team, and yes, so that's kind of so time saving for me as well. So it's meant a lot, and I've kind of drifted in and out of the Light It Up community, and it's always there when I need it, and I can get easily diverted and working on different stages of my business, but I find it extremely supportive, and at the minute it's becoming really, really important to me again, and just to upskill and get that that routine. And I'm still learning to batch videos, and I'm loving live, because I never enjoyed the whole techie bit of recording. And then, although I didn't think I would, live is I'm so comfortable with it. I actually find it easier than typing a post, doing a live video. So I think kind of it. That's loads.
Oh yeah, that's tons, Christine. And yeah, thanks so much for sharing your experience. I've definitely had that too, where after a while you get to you go to write something and you go, oh, it would just be easier to just record a quick video. And at the start, the idea of that is unbelievable, but you can absolutely get there. And I love actually as well that you've jumped out to share, because you're one of those people who you had a business, and then you began to incorporate video into that. So you were kind of on that 2, almost 3 stage when you started using video, and it's just kind of helped ease everything for you. So I'm just delighted that you popped out. Thank you so much. Wonderful. And then I don't even know what time it is. I can't see the clock right now. So Tara, maybe we can start doing some questions. So if anybody has I think we might be actually kind of, yeah, so we've almost been on for the 90 minutes. So I think we'll add another 15 minutes on after the hour to make sure we get to handle some questions. I tried to rip through our content as fast as possible, but let's go ahead and get some questions.
All right, Isabel Reachley raised her hand a while ago, so I'm going to unmute her.
Okay, Isabel, we can hear you now. Isabel, are you still there? Well, maybe she stepped away.
Okay. I'll mute again. I guess if she thinks
we'll come back to her.
Come back.
And guys, while you're waiting, if you have your hand raised, just think about what's your one question. If you can, just say it all in the one question, and then we'll mute you back up, and I'll answer as completely as I can.
All right. How about Dianne? Dianne? Deanne?
Diane.
Diane. It was either way.
I know. I have two, but I'll stick with one just for the sake of time and sharing. So the biggest one is I did jump on and I did start doing Facebook Live recordings. So thank you. I would have never had the gumption to do that. So
Well done.
yeah, huge. But my question is live Facebook versus recorded postings. The mix, do you lose value? Do you lose communication? Do you lose the connection and developing? What's your opinion on that?
Okay, this is a fantastic question because I'm sure this is one that a lot of people have is, do I do Facebook Live? Do I do Facebook recorded? What's the difference? So in terms of algorithm. So it depends on what your aim is. So if your aim is to have your video get to the most people, Facebook Live will show to the most people. But I always think it's really important that we consider everything when putting up a video. So what we want to consider is what's going to be the best for our audience and the best for us. So if like for example, I often do recorded. I do way more recorded than I do live because I find that I can deliver my content in the most succinct and direct way in recorded. And someone who experiences my recorded videos knows that they're going to get some pretty direct content and info. So the downside of recorded is that Facebook just shows it to a smaller proportion of audience than they show live. So live is great for creating engagement. If I go live on my page, what happens is I can get some engagement right there. I can talk to my audience, which again helps the connection. So Tara could hop onto my live video and she could leave a comment and I could say, oh, hey, Tara, what's up? And so then that makes it makes it a very real sort of back and forth, real conversation. And then what happens is your live video, as soon as you finish, you hit, save, and then it becomes like a recorded video on your wall, and Facebook will start to share it. Now, the reason I don't do a lot of live is because I find, like I said to you guys at the start, I can't handle chat. If I see words while I'm talking, I just get completely sidetracked and I can't remember what I was talking about. So for me, I know I will perform better and I will feel more myself on recorded than live, but I'll do the odd live. So once your live video is on your Facebook wall, it's treated pretty much the same. It behaves the same as a recorded video in that someone is just going to see the recording, but because of the way the Facebook algorithm is, it will show to a larger proportion of your audience. So because of that, a lot of marketers will say you have to be doing live, but truthfully, like, that happens all the time where there's some new big thing and everyone's like, you have to be doing this. And if it's not right for you, then don't. So I always think that it's best to try something. So this is actually why we're doing the Facebook Live mini challenge in Light It Up, is to give people a completely safe space, to shine, to try it, because your first live video, you're going to feel awkward. It's like, I still sometimes feel awkward live, but you'll find that after a little while, that eases. And then some people find live better than recorded because you're uploading and recording at the same time, so it's faster and easier in a way. So I think I kind of meandered around, but I hope that answered the question somewhat. And thanks so much, Diane, for that question. Cool. Tara, who's up next? Tara, you're muted right now, I think.
There we go. We have Anne at On to Health.
Anne, hello.
Hello. Oh, I'm unmuted. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
These videos that we do, should we keep it to the 2 minutes to ensure that we get engagement, or roughly within the 2 minutes?
Yeah, I think what you want to do is you want to make sure that your videos are as long as they need to be. So if you find that you need to talk for more than 2 minutes to be able to completely explain something, then that's fine. I think the thing is that you have to keep it engaging for as long as you're on. My videos these days are running at about 6 minutes, but I have trained an audience that if you watch my videos, you're probably going to get some value, and it's worth hanging on for 6 minutes. At the very start, I actually aimed always to do 2 minutes because a new audience doesn't know yet that you're going to deliver value. So shorter videos, they're more likely to actually watch. Someone will actually look at the amount of time that the video is before they decide if they're going to watch it or not watch it. So that's the really tough thing. So I would keep it as short as you can to still deliver a powerful video. One thing to look out for is often when we're starting, we will say something and then reiterate, and we'll feel like we need to say it in like 3 different ways. And that's how videos tend to get longer than they need to be. So as short as you can, but it's okay if it's longer, if your topic just needs to be longer for this one. Yeah, good question. Yeah, cool. Who's up next?
Kira Conlon.
Kira?
Yeah, hi everyone.
Hi.
My question is actually about the programs and stuff that's in Light It Up.
Yeah.
When you talk about doing the various techniques and things, the tools that you recommend, are these like free options or are these paid options? For example, when you talk about video marketing and you get into lists or the video editing and things, do you offer, like, what kind of tools do you suggest?
That's a really great question, because really what you're wondering is like, what else do I need to get or pay for in order to be able to effectively video market? So everything that you're using right now is pretty much what you would be using to share public videos and to begin really video marketing. So with video editing, I have free and paid options. So I always teach there's a free option for both PC and Mac, and then there's also the YouTube editor, which we teach in depth as well. So that's all free. I started with free stuff because I was on a serious budget, so I didn't buy anything apart from, I think I had hosting and I had a list, and those were the only things that I paid for. So we really like to keep it like, how can we make it really professional and really work, but stay as low cost as possible? So there's almost nothing that I would recommend that you have to buy. You want to have some form of list, but you can use pretty low cost list options, and then you only have to pay as your list grows. So, but in terms of video, I don't think that there's anything that you absolutely have to buy in order to actually use the method. So I teach the methods on YouTube and Facebook. So both of those are inherently free. I actually don't use paid video. So really, I think there's not really anything that you'd have to pay for except whatever you use for your email list, probably. But good question, Kira, because I bet a lot of people are wondering that. Cool. All right, Tara, who's up next?
Nancy Gerber.
Cool. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, can you guys see me?
Yes. Hi.
Okay. I'm still getting used to Zoom here, so just bear with me for a second.
Anyway,
if you can see me, that's fine. It's interesting because I wanted to, first of all, say thank you. I really got so much out of the challenge and got a lot more confidence in everything, and just terrific stuff. I did have a question actually also about tools. Number one, I've been doing videos with my Android phone, coming out pretty well, but I feel like I need one of those little tripods. I've seen tripods actually with a Bluetooth application that you can start and stop and really, have the opportunity to position that and really set it up to get, wherever you need to get it. So I was wondering what your feelings are about that. And also I saw something called TubeBuddy Pro for managing your YouTube account. It was actually heavily discounted for a time through AppSumo. It'll probably be offered again. But I was curious about that kind of tool as well. And I hear what you're saying about trying to use the free tools as much as possible, and I appreciate that. But it seems to me that something like a tripod would be a really good investment, especially if you wanted to kind of do videos in different locations and things like that.
Yeah. Okay, so the two main things are, what about paid stuff for managing YouTube and paid stuff for getting your videos, the tools for recording. So I do use a tripod. if I'm recording on my smartphone. For ages and ages, I would just stack books. And that's why I talk that way in the challenge, because I want to make sure people don't feel that they have to buy anything. But I do have a tripod, so you can get any tripod whatsoever. I picked up one in a discount shop, same with my selfie stick. And then you just need an attachment for your phone. So you can go on Amazon, search your, Samsung S5 tripod attachment. And tripods come with this like little twisty thing at the top where you can just twist on the attachment for your smartphone. So you can buy any tripod plus this smartphone attachment. It probably will run you like 10 to 15 bucks for the two of them. So that's handy. Then in terms of and actually I'm really glad you asked this, because in terms of things like TubeBuddy, I haven't heard of that particular one, but I have seen different tools come and go over the years in YouTube. I have tried tools in the past, and what I've discovered is you actually are better off doing it yourself. If you understand how to optimize your videos, then you'll find that actually what you can do is going to have a greater long-term effect, because YouTube continuously tries to find ways to make sure people aren't automating the process. They want their user to have a really good experience, so they don't like when people automate things on their channel. So like the people who used to buy views so that they could get higher rankings and stuff like that, all their channels went away. I don't know, like 5 years ago, I remember tons of people suddenly lost their channels and they lost their rankings. So if you're ever doing anything that YouTube finds funky, and right now it might not be funky, right? But we don't know what in the future, if it's going to say, you know what, now we don't like people managing your account. Now we don't like this. So YouTube itself has some resources that you can use as your channel grows. It has a whole section for creators. You get access to that. You get more access to that the more subscribers that you have. But I always like to play the game of the platform that I'm on when we try and game the system. And I know that's not your intention at all, but managers and things like that, they usually end up being a little bit gamey. And then eventually in the long term, it tends to not work out. But tripods and selfie sticks and all that stuff, yes, buy any tool that you feel is going to help you to confidently record, or to record more quickly and easily once you know what you're doing. I mean, as in once you've done the Shine Challenge, so now you know enough to go, yeah, I like video, it's worth investing in a tripod. So good questions. Very good. Cool. Thanks, Nancy. And who is up next?
Tracy. We have Tracy.
Cool. All right. Hey, Tracy.
Hello. Nice
Hi.
to see you all. My question is about the expected sort of commitment associated with bumping up to the Light It Up program. Mm-hmm. When I did the 10-day challenge, I signed up knowing exactly what I was getting into. I knew that for 10 days in a row, I would be putting aside time to shoot a short little video, bam, first take, no script, everything. And that was very manageable. But now I'm wondering, is this the best time for me to be going on and doing the Light It Up challenge as well, just based on how much time I'm going to need to have available to really make the most of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you're kind of looking at the time commitment. Is that right?
Yeah. Because I want it to be a priority. But I also, if it's going to take too much right now of my schedule for me to make it a priority, then maybe now isn't the best time to do it, right? I don't want to sort of sign up and then think, oh, I haven't had time to really keep it, right?
Yeah. Okay, understood. So it's kind of like, how much time do I need, and what sort of things would I be doing in understanding?
Yeah, it doesn't have the schedule or the finiteness that the challenge did. So I'm just curious to hear a bit more about how you start.
Yeah, perfect. So there are, I'm really glad you asked this, because I do think it really helps people to be very clear on what's expected and what they need to do getting into something. So in Light It Up, everyone is at different stages. So there's people who have actually been in Light It Up for like a year and a half, and they're just out there doing their videos, and they literally come in, watch a couple of videos, and drop their own. That's pretty much how they'd engage. And when a new course comes in the courses, they might be going through that. So every week, we encourage our members to record 2 videos, and we send out a weekly digest every week. So the weekly digest would have a couple of prompts in it, like in case you want prompts and you don't want to come up with your own. It also has a training of the week and any announcements of anything that's happening. So kind of the minimum commitment that you would be doing is recording a couple videos a week and dipping into whatever you need from the membership area. So what we encourage people to do is just use the membership area as sort of as and when it's right for you. So there's people who go through it really quickly, and then there's people who go, okay, now I want to incorporate some editing. Let me go look at the editing section. So each section has videos that are, 3 to 5 to sometimes 8 minutes long. And so you can come in and get what you want. So what I would expect is that you are probably recording a couple videos a week, watching a few videos and engaging in the group a bit. It's kind of similar to now. So every time you're sharing a video, you're looking at 3 other videos that are roughly the same, kind of 2 to 3 minutes in length. And then you're looking probably at the training of the week. Most people are at least looking at that and then kind of going into the membership training area when they need something specific. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's entirely clear, but those are kind of the minimum things you'd be doing. So it should actually end up being a little bit less time than Shine, because what we do with the challenge is we try and very quickly kind of take you through this intense experience that helps you get comfortable. And then what we do with Light It Up is to help you to maintain that and to use it in the context of your business. So I actually find it's a little bit less time, but it's a little bit more focused on you, on what do I need to do with my video, and using the resources that are going to help you do that. So I hope that's a little clearer. I know it's not as specific because each person's going to be doing it a little bit differently, but I hope that will help make it a little clearer. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Thanks, Tracy. And Tara, who is up next?
We have Peter.
Okay, and how are we on time, Tara?
It's 11 after.
11 after. Okay, so let's do Peter and then maybe one more after that?
Yeah, and I have a couple that are written down that are pretty quick.
Okay, cool. So let's do Peter and then yours, and then we'll have one more, and then we'll wrap up. Okay. Peter?
I'm not coming up.
Oh, there you are.
Aha, can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
Okay, hi, thanks. It's been great. I've really enjoyed it. It's been so much fun. It's been fantastic, a lot of food for thought. My question is, I'm away for most of the summer, and although I intend to play around with it, I'm really interested in the 30-day challenge in September and how we can get involved in that, whether an invite will come out or is there any way we can sign up for that?
Yes. So there is the links that we had for Shine. So if you look on the side of our group, there's a link there that was for people to register in the description box of our group. That now goes to a challenge waitlist page. So you can go onto that. Frankly, I'll probably email all of you anyway to let you know when it's available. But if you want to make sure to catch that, then yeah, getting onto that challenge waitlist would be good. So if you go to our group and look in the description box, you'll see the registration link there.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome, good question. Thanks, Peter. Cool. All right. So Tara, let's go through a couple of the quickies.
Yep. When will the recording be sent out?
Tomorrow.
Okay, great. Can one video replace a 300-word blog post? And how does Google check it for keywords?
Oh, yeah. So it can, but you still want to have some words around it. So if you're putting a video onto your blog post, it actually is helpful to write maybe even 100 words to kind of be in and around it. Now, YouTube, interestingly, will create a subtitle track for your video, and it actually looks for keywords in there. So if you are recording about a particular video topic or a particular keyword, it's useful to say the keyword once or twice in your video, and then just optimize a blog post as you normally would around it. But yeah, it can replace the wording so that you're only using a little bit of words. That's totally fine.
Cool. What tool can you use to add titles to your video, like your name and what you do?
Oh, like over the video?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you can use kind of any of the editing tools. So like in Light It Up, we go through a demo of each of the tools and we show you how to add text, how to add music, how to add images, how to add other clips. So we go through all of that. But so pretty much any tool would work. I think YouTube has a title tool, if I'm remembering correctly, on the YouTube editor. So if you go to YouTube and into there's like a tool section, the one we went over with trimming, in the lower right-hand corner, you'll see a link for the YouTube editor, and you can use that once your video is already uploaded as a way of adding a title. Just don't add a title before you start talking. You want it to be like over you talking, because otherwise people will find the start of your video boring and won't go on to watch it. So you want to make sure that that's happening either super fast or over you talking, so that they're actually listening and wanting to get the content of the video.
Okay, looks like we got a little clarification from Leandro about his question. So he's talking about captions, like how do you get captions on a video?
Oh, cool. Yeah. So, so all of the, if you put a video up on YouTube, it's going to have a captions track. So say if you wanted to add captions to a Facebook video, you can always upload a caption track. And so you can actually go to the YouTube one and download that and then upload it elsewhere. You can also edit, so you can type it all out. You can get someone to transcribe it, get them to save it in the file type. I don't know, Tara, what's it called again?
XRT?
SRT, yes, SRT file, and then you get that uploaded. So there's other places that kind of teach that in a little bit more depth, but you definitely can pretty easily add captions, and YouTube adds automatic captions. So one of the easy ways that you can get captions on your video is to go into their automatic captions and just edit it, because it's not always perfect. It's not as good as a transcription, but you can simply add little edits to make sure that it's actually written what you're saying.
Yeah, Leandro, why don't you raise your hand and ask? I guess he doesn't understand. So, I mean, at the beginning of the video, you can add titles, and then you can also add captions at the bottom of the videos, and you can do that in YouTube or in Facebook. Yeah, it kind of happens automatically.
Yeah, it happens automatically. So I don't know of a tool that does that automatically. If you want it to sit over your video and not technically be a caption, but just be words on it, then you can add that using an editing tool like the YouTube video editor.
Okay, Niv, hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I have my mic. Okay, here. What I mean is, sorry, I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina, so my English may not be clear enough. But what I meant with titles or captions are the ones that, when you are presented, maybe when you just watch the news, you have at the bottom the titles that says, I don't know, there was a crash in the city and the name, or there's a speaker and you have the name of the speaker and it says Leandro Hebel, life coach. Okay, that kind of thing. I mean, you have the title at the bottom and some nice animated background.
Yeah, so what you're looking at is something that is usually called the lower third. So the lower third is basically words that appear that usually have a title and then like a little one line under it of what the person is or does or whatever. So depending on what kind of computer you have, like if you have a Mac and you have iMovie, in their title section, they have lower third videos. If you're on YouTube, it used to have, I can't remember, because it used to have one where you could add a lower third to it, but I think you probably can in the editor. So I don't know of any specific tools outside of editors to do that. So you can do it on an editor, or if you're doing a live video, most live videos will also let you do that. Like if you do BeLive TV, so that's BeLive.tv. That's a way to do Facebook Lives and have things like lower thirds on the video. So cool. I think we clarified that one. Awesome. Thanks. And Tara, who else wants to jump out, or is there anything else to address from the chat?
Yep. Heidi.
Heidi. Cool. Hi, Heidi.
Am I on?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just two things very quickly. So when I do up a video on Facebook, can I have, like the text of what I'm sort of saying, like you can on YouTube? So will I just will I just download it from YouTube and then it will automatically have the text, or?
Yeah, is that your total question? What's the other thing as well?
No, that is just like a compliment.
Okay, well, what's the full question?
No, so how can I get, because I see many people, when you have it on Facebook, you will have text sort of saying, what you are, it will the text will say what I'm talking about, because many people, sometimes they don't actually put the sound on because they're somewhere.
Yeah.
And then, so when they see the text, they will stay with the video.
Yeah. No, I understand that question. I'm just asking, is that because you said you have two questions, so I want to make sure we're getting.
No, sorry, that was
okay,
one
that's
question
okay.
and a compliment.
That's okay, Heidi. So what I wanted to, so about that one, yes, you can have subtitles on your Facebook videos. You can't have them on your personal wall. So they only actually work on fan page videos. So if you upload your video to the fan page, you have the advanced editing option, and you can actually upload an SRT file. And you can get an SRT file either from someone transcribing your video, or I think you used to be able to, but I'm not entirely sure. You can go and download the one from YouTube that they do automatically, and then go stick it on the Facebook one. Cool.
And then I just want to say, there was another, was it Renata? I can't remember, who said about becoming a circle leader and taking the leadership. And I just want to say, that was my first holding, that really taught me to hold the space. And I just yesterday was able for my first client guinea pig, to try, what I want to sell, to try the process holding the space for her. And I'll tell you what, she just got a breakthrough, and I'm just so happy because now I know it works on other people. And, by being a circle leader, it just enabled me to hold the space for other people and know that I could do it. So, and everybody else who's doubting what's in the membership site, that is just gold. Some of the strategies you have in there, those videos, they are absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for hopping out. Good question as well. Wonderful. So Tara, are there any burning things, or I think we're feeling good?
One of these questions got answered in the comments, but it's a good one. So you might want to talk about how we get criticism and feedback in Light It Up.
Oh, that's very good. So people, what we do is we kind of mark, when we share a video and Light It Up, we share it in the community, we mark it public or private. So we let people know what we want. So we'll say, hey, I want public comments on my Facebook fan page, and then people go and leave supportive comments. Or you say, hey, I want feedback. And so often people will ask for very specific feedback. They'll say, I want feedback on the connection. Or they'll say, hey, this is private, I'm feeling a little nervous about this. So usually they'll kind of let us know what they need in the comment on the video, and then we try our best to provide that. So if they say, I really want you to give me some helpful criticism, then we will do helpful criticism. So it's kind of whatever the person asks for is what we try to provide. So we definitely do, particularly I find we do a lot of people will share, what do you think about this video? Should it be public? Should I work on it again? Sometimes we tell people, this one didn't really work. We'd love to see this and this and this thing a little bit different. Or we'll, half the time it's like, no, just share it publicly. It's fantastic. So it's kind of more of a conversation, and you let us know what it is that you're looking for. And because we try not to give critical feedback if someone doesn't ask for it, because we want to make sure that, that people do feel very safe, and there's people of all kinds of levels. And at the start, sometimes it's just helpful to just be cheered on. And then at other points you go, you know what, I really need some critical feedback. I really need to know what can I improve. So it's pretty much you ask, and we have these public or private tags that we use. So good question.
That's it. Oh, how big is the Light It Up group?
Oh, it's there's I don't know, there's almost 300 people there, I think, at the moment. So it's not huge, but what we find is people, like Christine was saying, people will kind of some people will be really active, and then some people will be like a little bit quieter and pop in and out. So everyone uses it a little bit differently, but there's certainly a sense of community and group, I find. Anyway, I usually recognize everyone, but then I'm the one who like is kind of paying the most attention, I imagine. So cool. All right. Are we good? Any final thoughts? I would love if you guys want to share really quickly in the chat what you got out of this call tonight. I'd love to hear how this went for you, if you got anything great out of being on this. Oh, Lynn, I did get your question in email. I will be getting to that during the week. Yeah, so yeah, if you guys can leave anything in the chat of what you got out of this tonight, I would totally love that. Was there any other question? I thought I saw things popping up in there, Tara.
Yep, Lynn's question. How much is Light It Up membership? Why don't you summarize that for us?
Oh, yes. Okay. So Light It Up membership is, there's a join fee normally of $200 to join to get access to all of the courses, all of the membership training area, as well as our Facebook group, and then the $35 per month for the ongoing membership. But at the moment we have a special offer on, so we're giving a 50% discount on the join fee. So at the moment it's only $100 to join, and then $35 per month to for the ongoing challenges and workshops and community and new things and stuff. So yeah, so we would totally love to have you guys. Thank you so much for these lovely comments and the comments on my decoration. I went this time with the stars and colors. I was really feeling it. I was gonna wear a crown, but then it was too small for my head. So I had to use my hat from last time, which I was a bit sad about. But I really want to say thank you guys all so much, and thank you for all of you who asked questions. You guys really contributed a ton. I know everyone who asked a question, someone else was going, oh, thank goodness they asked that. Thank you, Tara, for being a lovely co-host, and thanks to our members who popped out and shared some of their experiences. And thank you all for a really, really wonderful challenge. I loved Shine. This was such good fun. My intention was to have fun. I had a ton of fun. I really have enjoyed this call. I'm glad we went on a little bit late. So thanks, guys, so much. Have a wonderful day and week wherever you are, and hopefully see you in Light It Up or around with your videos. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you.